I'll bring you back for a video just to kick the year off. Just back out in the workshop for the first day for 2020. Just sort of get a little bit of work done on my Mazak mission, or the old CNC lathe, as I refer to it in the descriptions. I'll just sort of quickly show you a little bit of progress where I am. Nothing too big deal at the moment. I've sort of been on holiday with family holiday time, so I haven't done much on it, and I probably won't be doing much on it at the moment. I've got a few jobs coming up and just using this week to do a few things around the workshop, and the Mazak mission is one of them. But just bringing you in on the tailstock rail, a la sort of your manual lathe. You just sort of rail, with your flat rail and your beveled rail, or your 45-degree rail on one side, just to keep the tailstock centered. Obviously this one's removable. I'll just take you out to the machine and just show you how that bolts on, just for curiosity. So I had the whole thing blasted by my powder coat. Anything heavy or larger, or more so heavy than large, I normally get my powder coat of the blaster for me, and I bring it back and mask it all up and paint it. As you can see there, the blasted surface there from the sandblaster, and obviously the paint there where I've painted it in my traditional colour. I've painted pretty much 90% of the machine. I was concerned about blasting it, but I took a bit of a gamble on the tailstock. The tailstock on probably more so on, I suppose, manual and CNC machines. They're not a high frequency type of thing that you'd use, especially in CNC. There's most of the stuff you do, probably 90% of the work you do on a CNC machine is done up at the chuck, and probably the same really with the manual machine, other than maybe drilling some holes. You very rarely hold long shafts in lathes, but depending on the type of work you do, of course. But a lot of people actually take these off for some silly reason. Why you would do that, I have no idea. But definitely I'll be putting this back on. I will have to stone all these surfaces here. So just bringing you in fairly close. So this has been blasted probably at least a month ago. So it's held okay. There is a bit of marking up the end here from probably maybe more so where I've just touched it with my sweaty hand. You sort of see fingerprints and things like that. But I've got a pretty dry atmosphere inside my workshop, so things don't tend to rust too much. But I'll just take you out to the machine shortly. I'll just take you over to the actual tailstock itself, sort of so you can understand what's going on. If you've watched the last video, you would have already seen this. Same thing with that, the rail blasted, sandblasted, and just got it back and painted it, as I say, in that same colour. It's pretty much the same principle as a manual machine. The only difference with this is the cylinder to bring your centre out is hydraulically driven, and same thing with those two holes there that's hydraulically clamped onto the rail. I'll probably bring you back for a video possibly just to show you that, and other things along the way. I think there still seems to be a little bit of interest in the videos that I'm posting, so as long as people are still interested, I'll probably keep going with them. I'm probably just thinning out the frequency and the length of the videos now, trying to make them too long. These guys don't seem to like to watch the videos too long, and just trying to fit this machine rebuild in between doing my own jobs, or customer jobs, and my own stuff as well. So I'll just take you out to the machine now. Not a huge amount's changed out here since the last video. The only thing I've done since then is fitted the high wind rails, which I've probably shown you in an earlier video where I had to do a bit of modification. You can probably see two series of holes there. The original one, you can sort of see it's a bit black looking at the front there, and the one behind, which I've had to re-drill and tap, which was fun. These are case hardened, but they are machinable, but you just got to get through the case harden, which is about 65 rockwool. Obviously, being linears, they need to be fairly hard wearing. I did go through the reasons why I've replaced this rail. This one was okay, but in this area here, the actual sheet metal panel, which will make a bit more sense as I keep referring to things, because it's probably hard to pick up when I'm just pointing you at things, how things go together. But obviously this has another turret that sits on top of here, which you're indexing. You have an indexing turret, as with most of your CNCs, that hold your tools and just indexes around to that position. But as I say, that'll sort of make sense along the way if you're not familiar, but I'll try and include you in as much of the rebuild without dragging it on too long. I think I did go over it quickly, but I had to modify the holes to suit what the NSK ones were, so that's why that back hole's been drilled. This one's not too bad. I've got actually 8mm bolts coming from underneath, so I could leave those ones. The centers on the Mazak, basically you could say not NSK. NSK is the same centers, but obviously I had to make a change because of the Mazak use the distance of the hole centers is further back, so you can see that extra additional hole that's been drilled and tapped at the back. I've had to drill and tap a couple of M8 holes into the side there. Not a big deal, just sort of bring you down, just sort of include you in things that I'm doing. Just bring you down to the area where that, just trying to get a bit of light on there if I can. Those pads there obviously been covered up for blasting. I probably could have, in hindsight, I could have let them be blasted, but I wasn't sure at the time. This base has been done a fair while ago, right at the start obviously, and then I was sort of a bit concerned about the etching on this surface. I was worried about the height, changing the heights, but I'm going to have to stone in these surfaces, all the mating surfaces, so obviously three surfaces, this surface, the surface underneath, obviously the rail, and those surfaces where the tailstock runs, and I think I masked off the ones underneath the tailstock, I think from memory now, so I don't have to stone those, but I'll just get it as a little rub just to take off any nicks or burrs and anything on there. And you can sort of see the original. It's got like an enamel type of green colour in there, but that wasn't the original colour, probably more like that one at the back, the original colour. So like I mentioned before, like a grass green type of colour. So just bringing you back to the rail again, just to finish off the video. As I say, not too long, nothing much to really show you. Haven't done much progress on the actual machine itself. You can tell, as I say, you can see those blaster surfaces probably in the light a bit better there. And obviously the on the opposite side where the rail runs is a similar type of finish. It wasn't too bad. I was a bit concerned because the industrial blasting is a bit more aggressive than what I have. But obviously a little bit higher pressure. And I was a bit concerned it was going to start to etch the surface too much. Obviously I won't have to stone it, I don't want to stone it down too far, but I will have to shim this up, which I'll bring you back along the way and show you how I've done that. Not a big deal, it's just be a shim material just to put in there, nothing too, probably, I'm guessing somewhere around, I'll probably just start off with sticking a shim in there, probably just start off with something around maybe about 1/2 mil, and then just bolt it back on and then get the machine running and then do all the test cuts and so on. But I will probably bring you in on that for those who are interested. It might help somebody even to dial in their tailstock to their chuck, get everything running true. And I'll do the same thing with your manual machine dialing in your tailstock. There's not much difference. But with this, obviously, you move the bed across on your manual machine. You just move the headstock itself. So as you can see, everything's been painted inside, so the whole thing's been blasted obviously back to raw, and then I've got in there and painted everything that I cook, so I don't want any exposed cast iron that's going to rust and then release that back into the corn. So I've gone through and made sure I painted everywhere that's not a mating surface. So as I say, these will be stoned, so that's probably the next thing to do after this video. So that's probably about it. There's probably not a lot to show you, just try to just bring you in quickly, just so you get, as I say, get the year kicked off of another video. As long as you guys are still interested to watch, I'll probably keep posting. As I say, the frequency probably won't be as high as it has been, but just trying to fit them in. And yeah, it's hard to say sometimes, doing videos sometimes. With YouTube videos, I'm sort of 50-50 doing them. As long as you guys, as I say, keep referring to, as long as there's still some interest there for you guys that are watching, for whatever amount of time you're watching, I'll keep posting the videos. It was always an interest for me to do the videos right from the start, just to show you the rebuild of the Mazak anyway along the way, for those who might be interested to follow along. I thought it was pretty interesting myself, so I thought I'd just include you guys in it as well. But that'll probably do for this video. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Okay, bye for now.